Come join Libby, Molly, and Tiffany, the ladies of Consignment Chats, where we talk about all things consignment.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Consignment Chats, where we plan to discuss selling platforms today. Are y'all ready to chat?
Oh, yeah.
Great. So we're going to start off, as we normally do, talking about our weeks and the ins and outs and ups and downs. So, Tiffany, how was your week this week?
Well, my week was kind of a transitional week. It was my first week not having to go to another job all week.
Yes.
So, working on my store. And usually what I do is I go to my day job and then I come home and I work on my store all evening. So it's been an adjustment this week where I'm working morning, noon, and night, on the store. So it's like, I need to start working on some sort of break, some sort of, personal time in there and how I get that into my life now. So it's an adjustment. I also learned after a couple days that I've been getting up and putting on makeup to go to work every day since I was like 16. And the couple days I didn't do that. And it really makes a difference in my whole outlook. Like I need to get up and put on makeup and get ready. Like I'm going to work. And it helps me be more
good
productive.
advice.
It is. It is.
I need to follow that for sure.
Yeah.
I saw on some of your social media, you'd posted your little desk sign you were waiting to use. It was, what is it? CEO?
Yeah. So wake me when I'm CEO.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and now you're up.
And then I have my Hustle More sign.
Hustle more. I like
it. It lights up.
Oh,
look, my cat joined us.
Yes, your cat joined us. I see. Hi, kitty.
I was going to say we can post a picture of your signs for those of you listening on the on just audio. We'll post a picture on our Instagram and in our stories of Tiffany's cute little signs.
Yeah, they can see that on the highlights on our Instagram page on the episode highlight.
You'll have to go to YouTube to see the cat, though. I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, I think the cat is in the highlights already from the first episode about getting to know you and your family. There might actually be a picture. So they can see the cat already.
Here on our Instagram.
Yeah. Libby, how was your week?
My week was, I need Tiffany's Hustle More sign because I am having a hard time keeping up. It has been just super busy. As far as intake, I have so many consignments here, so many boxes to unpack. Just really exciting. I can't wait to open some of them. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do an unboxing video or something like that.
I think you
kind
should.
of fun.
That'd be good. You also went to North Carolina.
Oh, right. I was coming back from North Carolina. Yeah.
My exciting week.
Yeah. So both of our kids, you may not know this, but both of Molly and I's children go to UNC Charlotte. So I was going to pick up Emma's stuff out of her dorm room. And so I got to stop and visit Molly in Greensboro for 2 nights. So that was a lot of fun.
Had a little slumber party. Yeah, it was fun. Did some work things, had some fun. Good stuff. Did
some live videos.
We're really trying to get better about putting ourselves out there because it does make a difference and people want to know you. Family businesses, they want to know the family. So,
and on the way down, I got to listen to a bunch of podcasts, and my daughter and I actually listened to our podcast, Consignment Chats, on the way down. So that was really, really kind of fun. Neat to get her teenage feedback on it. She was thrilled with it. She thought it was great. She really enjoyed it. So, and she's not a reseller, so
good.
That's good.
Yeah. That's good to know. Their opinions can be very brutal at times, those teenagers. So
oh yeah, they don't sugarcoat anything, especially your own children, right?
So, and I had a great week myself, starting out with my visit with Libby and Emma, which is always a phenomenal time. Next time I told her she's going to swing by, pick up Tiffany and bring her.
Absolutely.
Then we can all have fun and do some live all three of us together. But yeah, I've had some sales, got a lot of product to list. One of our live videos we did, I was doing some highlights of some things that I was going to be listing this week. So I still have a ton of listing to do. That's going to take us right into the challenges of my week right now are listings. That's my challenges. We're just going to segue right into that right now with my conversation. Listings for me, again, back to photography, lighting, trying to figure out getting my pictures done during the day, because at night is when it's easier for me to list, but the pictures are not near as good. So I need to take them during the day. So that's been something I've been trying to work that schedule in between Conshy Consignment, consignment chats, me time, getting those photos taken in there. So do you ladies have any challenges to mention
easy
this
because
week?
mine's totally easy. It's the same exact thing as yours, Molly. All this intake, all of this listing, all of this sorting. That's my challenge for the week, is just putting my head down and getting it done. Tiffany, I'm going to need that hustle more sign. I'm telling you.
I feel like, well, like what I said, just trying to adjust to this new lifestyle. It's just going to take me a little bit. I've tried the block scheduling. I've tried listing every single thing on the calendar that I need to get done, like when I need to do it. But I kind of lose it around the evening. Like I get trying during the day, but maybe I don't need to be working every evening, all evening if I'm working for the day. It's hard I just have to change the whole mindset.
You do.
Yeah.
And it'll probably change multiple times. I know mine does when I, change jobs and I thought I had it all together and then realized, you got to tweak and tweak and tweak. And like Libby, I think Libby, what you do is great. Each Sunday evening, you kind of do that week and figure out what that week is going to be, because every week can be very different depending on what's coming in and what got done or didn't get done the week before. So I think that Sunday night thing, I need to start trying to implement that. I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, it's always a work in progress, always.
Yeah. There's never going to be that perfect, So I'm excited to move into selling platforms. There are so many out there that we can discuss that people can use to sell their items. I think across the board for the three of us, the biggest platform that we use and that we'll start our discussion off with is eBay. The ins and outs of eBay listing.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be I'm really looking forward to this discussion, because there's so many different platforms, but on top of that, so many different philosophies. And I know that Tiffany and I have very different philosophies, I think, as far as using different platforms, what works for us. Just straight up what my philosophy is. I've done a lot of experiments, is that I'm best concentrating on one platform. When I start to spread myself too thin, it's like diminishing returns, right? I'm spending too much time cross-listing and I'm not, putting my effort where it needs to be. So the end of 2019, I actually did an experiment. I cross-listed to, I think it was 7 different platforms. And then I broke that back down into the time I spent and what the sales on the different platforms were. The end result, that was 92% of my gross sales were still on eBay, even with all the cross listing. And it, let me think. I think it was like $15 an hour it cost me to cross list to the different platforms. So in the end, it really didn't pan out for me. To cross list, it's better for me to just spend that time actually putting the listings on eBay. With that said, my philosophy is everything goes on eBay, and I do cross list to Poshmark and Facebook Marketplace and a couple other little ones, because I believe that you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You're playing in somebody else's sandbox. eBay tomorrow could say, you know what, you did something we're not thrilled with. We're shutting your account down. eBay could shut down itself or change their rules. I mean, that happens, things like that happen. So I think a safety is really good, like another platform or two that you could easily ramp back up on. But that's my whole philosophy. Tiffany, what is What is your philosophy with the different platforms?
Diversify. Like, I just think that I only have, like I said, I don't know if I gotta say only, but I have 700 and some items listed. And I feel like the more eyes that can see them, the better. So eBay is where I start. eBay is where I put, most things. But I do use a bunch of others also, because I just feel like the more I can spread it around, the more better my odds are of it getting seen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it also, I think, does a lot of good with, your Google ranking. The more platforms you're on, things like that, the more you're diversified, the better you're going to build your branding. So,
yeah. I mean, also, but I've tried some of the smaller ones, or something that we'll talk about later, but I don't do everything on every platform except eBay.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's on eBay, unless for some reason I can't put it on eBay, because there have been a couple times where eBay has taken down a listing for one reason or other, and so I have to sell it on another platform.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So in discussing eBay, people that are listening about the different platforms, give me some quick positives about eBay and why it's your number one.
Number one is probably the reach eBay has. Not, international. I don't think any other platform really compares to that. We'll talk a little bit about Amazon, which is a totally different beast. We are going to just mention that briefly. But eBay, the reach. How about what are your thoughts, Tiffany?
Yeah, it's definitely the most well-known, I believe, and also too, that's the reach is incredible. I've sent stuff to Norway before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't do that with Poshmark. Poshmark doesn't do international. They don't even do Canada. So, and I don't think, I don't know about the other ones, but I'm pretty sure eBay is just the most well-known. Most people do that. If you start your search out for an item on Google, it's going to show you eBay listings.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily show you, the others that, right off the bat. Most people get directed to eBay, I believe, if they're just looking, if they start their search on Google.
Yeah, absolutely. I think eBay spends a lot of money, sending their feed to Google. So you get all this exposure, and the listing fees are a little less than like Posh. I'm going to take Poshmark, for example. The listing fees are a little bit less. So I know, Tiffany, your number two is Poshmark. We differ on what our number two platform is, but yours is Poshmark. Poshmark is number 3 for me. I just don't have the sales or the volume on Poshmark. I don't like the social sharing aspect of it and the time it takes. It's 20%. It is easy. The learning curve, I believe, is a lot lower than eBay. eBay takes a little bit to get ramped up.
Yeah.
So for somebody new coming in, Tiffany, who's looking at this and going, okay, Poshmark is a platform, and Libby just mentioned the social aspect of it. How much, I know you have to, share your listings, right? How much of that do you do, Tiffany? Because I know you use it as one of your big ones. Explain that.
I personally don't share at all, but that's because I have a help. Well, that's because I have a helper. Okay. And my helper does it, but you have to share. Mm-hmm. You have to do all sorts of, it's a lot of work, sharing your closet and sharing other people's closet and liking their stuff. It's a lot of work. But you don't have to weigh or measure anything. I mean, as far as your packaging, it's a flat, they send you there's a flat shipping charge on Poshmark. They send you a label. You don't have to worry about, unless it's over 5 pounds, you don't have to worry about shipping. It's less work. With eBay, I think I mentioned before in one of the other episodes, I actually box and weigh and put the box measurements in for, any hard goods on eBay. And because you have to make your own label, and I don't want to overcharge people for shipping. But anyway, so Poshmark is definitely easier if you don't have a scale and you don't want to get into the whole mess of that. So anyway, that's about it.
I'm seeing us developing a pros and cons list here that we can put up at some point, because I think there's so much detail, and we will later break down individual platforms in an episode, but there's so much detail to compare just between Poshmark and eBay right now. Just the shipping process part of it is a lot to compare. There's pros and cons with everything. And then Libby, you have gotten very much into using Facebook, right?
Yeah. So for me, my number 2 is Facebook, and that's only as of November of this year. So on our business, there's 2 different parts to Facebook, and it is a little confusing because they are evolving even as we speak. They're very fluid. So the one is Facebook Shops, which you could do on your business page, which is supposed to feed into Facebook Marketplace, which most of us are familiar with. So what I'm currently doing now is I sell under my personal Facebook account on Marketplace. And then what I do is just send those people over to our business page after they've made a purchase and just say, thank you for your purchase. To see the latest and greatest items coming in, go over. Here's a link to our Conshy Consignment business page. I think Shops still has a lot. The Facebook Shops itself still has a lot of work to do. I don't have my business page hooked up to that yet. But I have been doing a ton of sales on Facebook Marketplace. The customer service is not there. So, if something goes wrong, they're not going to help you fix it. You're kind of, putting yourself out there. It's a little riskier. You're not covered like you would be on eBay or Poshmark if something goes wrong with any number of things. Shipping, if there's a customer service issue, it's a little riskier.
Right. Yeah. So also Facebook for a couple months there, maybe more than a couple months, they were doing no selling fee on Facebook. So there was no fee at all for a while. And now in January, they just reenacted the fee. It's a 5% fee on Facebook. And they say that's to cover customer service, but they have no customer service. They literally have no customer service. So I don't understand what the 5% is for. And they also charge the 5% on shipping. And they do give you the option now of using their shipping label with their flat fee based on your poundage of your weight of your item, or you can just use, do free shipping and then buy it yourself by your own label. So I have done some of that. I sold 3 things in December, but I haven't done a lot of listing. But I sold 3 things and I had a lot of trouble getting paid for it. So for some reason there was some problem with my account, even though I had a bank account in there. I couldn't get a hold of anybody. I was trying to get some service and I couldn't get service, but I finally just got payment for all those. And so I started listing some more stuff and sold another item in a couple hours after I listed it. So there's potential there. The more volume you do, of course, the better your sales are going to be. And I do the Facebook Shops on my business page. And the only good thing I see about that is that when I do a social media post with items in it, I can tag those items, to the post. So, and I did sell one item through a social media post from my Facebook shop.
Oh, good.
So, I agree. I do like the tagging the items option there. I think that's a great thing to have.
Yeah. And let's just date this video. We're recording this on January 15th, 2021, because Facebook is changing so rapidly. By the time you are listening to this, it may be a totally different ballgame. So just check the date and check.
That's a good point.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And supposedly now, if you do the Facebook Shops, there's a way to send out the stuff that you have in the Facebook shop to Instagram, to your Instagram page also. So you can buy from Instagram also. I've had a lot of trouble getting mine working. Honestly, I've tried months and I haven't gotten it working. So I don't know. Again, some customer service would be really nice, but that's that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
And then my other site that I sell a lot on is Makari. I know that Libby tried Makari for a while and stopped doing it, and she can explain that. But Makari is fairly simple, very simple. I mean, it does have a few flaws. You have to do a lot of. We can talk more in detail later about more of the platforms, or do the pros and cons list. But the Makari, you have to. There's some things you have to do from the app that you can't chat with a customer like on the computer. You have to do it on the app. And they also have the option of using their shipping label, or you can use your own shipping. And sometimes I do my own because I find it cheaper for the customer that way. And what else do I want to say about Makari? But another drawback is when you have a multi-quantity item, like say I have 5 of something, you can't put that on Makari. You should basically, if I have 5 of something and I sell it on Makari, I have to relist it again. So
that was one of the deal breakers for me. That was a deal breaker.
Yeah, having quantity is nice when you're listing. Makes it easy and quick. Mm-hmm. Very nice.
I think that was actually one of the reasons was the multi-quantity listings that Facebook Marketplace really ramped up for me. It was around the time they added that ability. Mm-hmm. So,
it was good.
Right.
So Etsy is another one of the main ones. And I know when we were first starting our online selling with Conshy Consignment, I got into Etsy, and it was back when it first started. And we didn't stay very long because we struggled with their shipping back then. And just recently, Libby and I have discussed, I got to imagine their shipping is completely different now than it was. What was that back in
2013, I think.
13 maybe. Mm-hmm. They probably are completely different with shipping, but the shipping was just so difficult, and we lost a lot of money on a piece shipping out to California, a vintage glass piece. And it was really a struggle. So we ended up walking away. But Tiffany, I know you use Etsy, and I would love to hear from you because we're, like I say, discussing opening that back up as another option.
Well, I actually did open that up. I don't even know if I told you that, Molly.
What?
Yeah, back when I was doing the experiment in 2019, I still have an Etsy store that I used to sell some, vintage pieces. Hoping to get that addition.
Well, clearly I'm out of that one.
We don't do a whole lot of volume on our Etsy store. We don't put a whole lot into it either. So, but it is there.
So what's the shipping like on Etsy, Tiffany, now?
I mean, shipping's just like eBay. It's pretty, simple. You put in your weights and your measurements of the package, and it calculates for you just like eBay does. I do a lot on Etsy because I have a lot of old items. I have a lot of vintage, antique books and some glass and stuff like that. I also have some handmade items. My helper Lori that helps me in the store, she crochets, so I'll sell her crochet stuff on there. So it's what I don't like about Etsy is that they charge you a fee per listing. So there is I think it's 30 cents, 15 or 20 cents, 20 cents a month. 20 cents. Yeah. And it's, so if you sell something, it will take those fees out of what you sell. But so for like maybe a good 4 or 5 months, I wasn't selling anything, but I was getting charged these fees. But I just kept at it, and now I'm pretty steady, and I have about 3 sales a month there. It's, it's not a lot, but it does cover the fees and gives me some extra money.
And do you find you can command a higher price on Etsy for those handmade goods?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And also there's no negotiation on Etsy. There's no price negotiation. There's no offers or back and forth or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Then we have let's talk a little bit about, those are our top ones, right? I think we covered those.
Yeah, those were the main 5 that we had.
Then there's
there's
like other platforms that we might use, like some, I don't want to say smaller, but it was just too much to talk about them all. We will, if you want to join our Facebook group, Consignment Chats, it's a free private group. We can have and we will have in-depth discussions about each platform. Maybe you have some additional information you want to give us, but it's just a free private group where we can get together and chat about that kind of thing.
Ask questions, share information.
So
what about Amazon?
Do you want me to,
I'm sorry, Tiffany, go ahead.
did you want me to run down the list of the other ones real quick?
Yeah, I do, but I just wanted to mention Amazon first. And, you know, a lot of resellers use Amazon, and they're killing it on Amazon. With the consignment model of selling, I do Amazon. I've dabbled in Amazon. With the consignment model of selling, it might be a nice thing to do on the side, but it doesn't really work well for a lot of, you know, vintage pieces, collectibles, things like that. At least the fulfillment by Amazon. So like you would send in, like I have a lot of collectible books and things like that on Amazon. I've done jewelry. But when you're consigning things for people and you want to send it in, I don't know that that's necessarily the best option. I haven't found a way to really make that fit our model with the fees and everything. So if there's somebody out there that does, you know, consignment and uses Amazon and has figured out a brilliant way to do that, let us know.
We want to hear. Tiffany, you had other platforms. Some of them I haven't even heard of before. You want to touch on some of those?
Okay. So the first one's really simple. It's Bonanza. Mm-hmm. And Bonanza, like, I don't know anyone who's actually really heard of Bonanza unless you're a seller, but I have had a few sales there. And what you can do with Bonanza is once you set up the account with Bonanza, you can link it to your eBay store. So it automatically imports everything from your eBay store over there to Bonanza. So you don't even have to do listings on there. And when you sell something on eBay or remove it from eBay, it will also update that on Bonanza. So you don't really need to pay much attention to Bonanza, and then occasionally you have some sales. So I just keep it as a, you know, because it's effortless pretty much. And then when I started using List Perfectly, which we can talk about later, that's a cross-listing tool that helps you. They list to Citizen, Depop, Tradesy, and Grailed, in addition to the other ones that we already mentioned. So I tried each of those a little bit. Citizen is very much like what it says. It's very geared towards kids, but they also have stuff for mama. So I put women's clothing and jewelry on there. And so I'm just now starting to get some traction on Citizen. And then there's Depop, which is more what they call streetwear, which I'm, you know, an old person. I had to look up what streetwear was. Like, I wasn't even really sure what that was. So I have a few listings over there, but I kind of did a few listings and kind of stopped. I'm not really pushing that site at all. Grailed is strictly men's clothing. I don't sell a lot of men's clothing, but I have put a few things over there and I haven't had any sales yet. So that's been going on for a couple months. And Tradesy is very, very, very high-end women's items, like very designer. Like then they will only take certain name brands. Like it has to be, you know, Louboutin and stuff like that. I mean, it's very, very high.
I think Molly and I might have been one of the first people on Tradesy. Do you remember that, Molly? That's when they imported our eBay store and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did have, you know, quite a few sales on Tradesy. It was nice. It was fine. It was pretty low maintenance.
Oh, well, they won't take any brands that I have right now. I think I might have, maybe I have a Coach thing on there, but that's Coach is even one of their minor brands. Like they, it's
so then Tiffany, is your Bonanza is what's putting these things on these other for you?
No, List Perfectly.
List Perfectly. Okay.
And you have to, you send it, we make our posts on eBay, and then we send it to other sites through List Perfectly.
Okay.
And I use the same for cross listing as List Perfectly. And Tiffany and I were actually talking about, we'll probably do an episode on cross posting, cross listing.
Yep.
Just to go over that in a little more detail. Yeah.
I think that would be very valuable for many people.
There's we could go in a whole thing about List Perfectly, and there's different, you have to pay for that, and the different pay models and what they do and stuff like that. So different ways to use it. Right now I still do everything manually. So meaning that if I sell something on Poshmark, I literally go into eBay and Makari and Facebook and delete the listing myself. So, it's all manual.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to cross list.
Wow. So I'm thinking it's time to talk some community chats. How about you ladies? We love our community. Yeah. We love getting feedback and reviews. We've had some of that come in. Libby, you have some to read to us, I think.
Yeah, so I was so excited. We got a message from a consignment seller. This was on Instagram, and she said, "Love the YouTube channel. I listened to all the episodes and subscribed this morning. 100% spot on. And y'all are so right. There isn't much info out there." So that was great to hear, because we are kind of filling this niche here.
And I just want to point out that y'all was said because that means she's down south here with me.
That is correct. That is correct.
So, yes. I hope I one day can meet her in person, or him. I'm assuming it's her. So.
I hope so. We're gonna have a list when this pandemic is over of
right.
Yeah, people to travel around. We might have to have a travel show.
Well, and we're going to add guests to the show. I know we have one scheduled in the future. Not sure when we're going to announce that, but I mean, some of these other consignment people will hopefully end up having as guests for whatever their specialty and strength is to talk on some of our episodes.
Yeah, there's so much to learn. So much to learn.
How about any other reviews? Have you found any?
Yeah, I just wanted to let people know, like, if you can review us on Apple Podcasts, it is so helpful. That is what boosts us most in search. Just head on over to Apple Podcasts. Even if you listen on YouTube or one of the other ones, we really appreciate rating there. But one of our ratings one of our reviews was really great content. The hosts are super informative and fun. Look forward to new episodes. So thank you. It kind of spurs us on, right? It definitely
is great. When you do social media posts about anything good that's happening in your life, any successes, anything great happening, use the hashtag #CCSuccess, and we will track that and share it.
Love to hear from you.
All part of our community. Yes, for sure. So anyway, after you visit our website, connect with us, and we'll see you on the next episode. Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining Libby, Molly, and Tiffany, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we talked about all things consignment. To learn more and keep chatting, find Consignment Chats on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, and Instagram.